Alright, today we're going to talk about The Monkey, one of the movies that I was really excited for this year. There's something about a toy monkey. They're just f***ing creepy. I think that we all, at least in some way, subconsciously or not, fear these little guys after Toy Story 3 and that security monkey. I mean, let's be real. Toy Story 3 is actually kind of a bona fide horror film with the inclusion of this motherfucker. But alas, we finally get a full horror movie, essentially all about a toy monkey and its devious kills. So let's talk about The Monkey.
No, 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 no!
The Monkey is a comedy horror film based on the 1980 short story by Stephen King and written and directed by Osgood Perkins. We all remember Osgood Perkins, right? The writer and director of the hyped-up movie Long Legs from 2024, but more importantly, dorky David Kidney from Legally Blonde.
Why didn't you call me?
What?
The best. A movie that never gets old. Anyways, one of the reasons I was actually pretty excited for The Monkey is because of the people involved. Osgood Perkins, Stephen King, James Wan, who is producing this one, and we have the actor Theo James, who I really do tend to like, and also the genre of the movie comedy horror is something that I typically enjoy, so I was really hoping that it was going to deliver on that front. The basic plot of The Monkey follows twin brothers whose lives are turned upside down by a cursed toy monkey that causes random and horrific deaths. So let me start by saying that I think that I had kind of medium to high, somewhere in between medium to high expectations for this movie, and I think I would say my expectations were met. I think it delivered adequately on the gore, the playfulness, and the comedy. Something I really liked about this movie though was the toy monkey and the toy monkey design. So Stephen King's short story depicts the monkey as like a typical toy monkey with the symbols, and when wound up it would clash its symbols and cause chaos. Unlike the short story, in the movie the monkey utilizes a drum instead, which it bangs when it's wound up, and I actually like this small alteration of changing it to a drum rather than symbols. The toy monkey is creepy without being too cheesy, yet still enticing and ominous and also unpredictable. And not only do I like the look of it, I really like the sound design as well. It has almost this like happy carnival-like sound when the monkey becomes wound up, and there's this good bit of tension and anticipation and really this kind of sense of dread when the monkey's final drumstick hits the drum and all hell breaks loose. There's also the scene where Hal tries to chop up the monkey into little bitty pieces, and the monkey oozes out this almost like blood-like substance, like this some sort of supernatural black gooey stuff, which kind of begs the question and brings up a bunch of questions about the nature of the monkey for me. Where exactly did it come from? Is there a supernatural being within it? How does it choose who it wants to kill? Why does it kill who it kills? Why does it spare the person who is the one that winds it up? What's the extent of its powers? So the monkey is really interesting to me, and one thing I think I would have wanted from this movie and a little bit more in this film is some of those answers. But I have to say, I love how playful this movie is. There are some over-the-top deaths, which I expected, yet there are plenty of lighthearted elements incorporated through the exaggerated situations, giving us a sense of fun while still being relatively serious in all the right moments. There were definitely some elements of comedy in this film as well. However, I will say I was a little disappointed with some of the comedy. I will say some of the jokes, at least for me, felt a little bit flat or a little bit cringe. But there were some good moments too. And in general, I love the energy of the film. I also really like how Osgood Perkins takes Stephen King's short story, but he definitely transforms it into an inspired yet very, very original piece of work. He definitely made his own story with this one. I think that the plot dives deep into the story of Hal and Bill in their childhood, and I really like how we get some good development there, but I really do think that this movie does lack developmentally when it comes to the character of Bill. Hal is the brother that we're focused on most of the time. He's kind of the lead character of the film, but Bill, the twin brother, ends up being quite an intricate and complex and calculated character, and I do not feel like the film adequately set up this character developmentally in preparation for how he transforms as an adult. There's this, I think, 25-year gap between when we see Hal and Bill as kids versus when we see them as adults, and I feel like with this, we miss the most important 25 years to learn more about some of the characters and their motives, specifically Bill. So that being said, there's also two other characters that I feel like really lacked development as well. The first is Hal's ex-wife, and then the second is Hal's ex-wife's husband, Ted, played by Elijah Wood. Literally, these two characters didn't really even have to be in the movie, which is a shame because I was really looking forward to see Elijah Wood in this, and to my surprise and my disappointment, he has like 5 lines maybe. I also think that this character was kind of a missed opportunity to add more comedy into the film, because his character is this author and this parenting guru who's about to take custody of Hal's child Petey. I think they could have played up some more funny lines there. Speaking of Petey, Petey is yet another character that's oddly forgettable, even though he joins Hal in search of the monkey and is kind of a main character towards the second half of the film. So I do think that the monkey could have made some improvements developmentally. But let's talk about the kills in this movie, because I liked them. I thought that there were some really clever kills, some gory kills, and others that were just brutally funny in a morbid way. For example, the first kill kind of sets the tone and is pretty ridiculous, and I think that the following ones are just as much over the top. My favorite one, though, is a tough call between 2 of the kills. The first has to be one of the kills that was teased in the trailer, the pool dive kill. Oh my goodness, this kill's absolutely ridiculous. The other kill that I happen to like actually happens, I think, kind of towards the middle of the movie. It has to do with the stampede and the aftermath of that, which reminds me, Osgood Perkins has a little cameo in this movie. He plays a small character, and I actually really like when the writer and director of a film does play a character in the movie. After all, Osgood Perkins is an actor too, remember from the beginning? Dorky David Kidney. Also, a quick side note, I really like how they did one specific thing. Did you guys catch the babysitter's name in The Monkey? Anybody? Annie Wilkes? Ring a bell? Sound familiar? No? Think Stephen King. Of course it's Annie Wilkes, the batshit crazy nurse from Stephen King's Misery, memorably played by Kathy Bates. I really like how Osgood Perkins injected this tiny little tidbit to strengthen the overall Stephen King connection in this movie. I thought that that was kind of fun. But overall, guys, I would say this movie is what I expected, and I think that Osgood Perkins did a decent job here. The monkey itself was well crafted and memorable. The playful nature of the movie was really fun for me. The take on the short story was fresh, yet still paid homage to Stephen King, and of course the kills were over the top and a bit silly, which I liked. I think I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. I think that's fair for it. I do think that the film lacked a little bit developmentally and left me with some questions regarding the nature of the monkey, and I wanted answers to it. Maybe I'll get them eventually. The film did end in a way that could potentially open it up for another film, but we shall see. But let's see what the general consensus is. Okay, very interesting. Listen, I thought this one was all sorts of fun. Average audience score 2.4. I gave it a 4. Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 78. Let's see what the average audience score is on Rotten Tomatoes. Okay, so average audience score on Rotten Tomatoes is a 61%. I mean, I think this one is worth it. I do think that it does have some flaws, like I said. But in general, I would watch it again. I think that there were some cool elements to it. And like I said, I think it meets my, like, somewhere between medium to high expectations. So because it was exactly what I kind of expected, with a couple twisted turns that were, you know, okay, I in general like this one. I don't know. You know, if this movie does seem interesting to you, I'd recommend seeing it in the theaters. For me, like I said before, this movie basically ended up being exactly what I expected, which in general is a good thing because I had mid to high expectations. It's fun and engaging to watch. I personally thought it was fun. But if you're too traumatized from the security monkey in Toy Story 3 and cannot bear to see another movie with a toy monkey in it, I get it. And I'm here for you. But what did you guys think? Have you guys seen The Monkey? Are you guys going to check it out? Let me know your thoughts. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I'd love to hear, and thank you guys for watching, and catch me next time. Peace.